Hey everyone, this is Kevin T. Rodriguez, film critic of iCritic.net, and I love the Walt Disney Company. I do. I've got my Anna and Elsa figurine back there. I have annual passes, who knows for how much longer, but I have them. And I see all their movies and I buy most of their Blu-rays. And I love their movies so much, I will even import their 3D Blu-rays when they don't release them in America, which is frankly often. But if there's one thing I don't like how big they're getting. I don't like how they just buy things. I don't like how they are not creating new things. They're just franchising everything. And of course, I don't like how they really have shied away from the internet. I mean, Disney has never been good with the internet. They, instead of embracing Google and Bing and Yahoo search engines, they decided to do their Go search, which did not succeed. Their websites have always been a little clunky compared to other websites. And they're finally starting to catch up on all that stuff. And in today's announcement, they sent out a press release, which we will read together, about how they are restructuring the company, and they are restructuring it to focus on the future, which is the internet, digital, yada, yada. So, according to this announcement, the Walt Disney Company announced strategic reorganization. New structure consolidates the company's direct-to-consumer services, technology, and international media operations into a single worldwide business to capitalize on growth operations. Parks and resorts and consumer product operations combine to create new hub where Disney stories, characters, and franchises come to life. Kevin Mayer named chairman of direct-to-consumer international segment. Bob Chapek named chairman of parks, experiences, and consumer products segment. So there's a lot to discuss here. So this might not be the shortest video in the world, and I guess I'll say that now. That could be your opportunity to get out. Of course, you see how long this video is. I don't know. I'm making it right now, so I guess you would have made a decision by now. So here's the announcement. To capitalize on today's rapidly changing media landscape and more closely align with the company's priorities for future growth, including creating high-quality content, technological innovation, global expansion, and direct-to-consumer distribution, of which Disney has failed very miserably on, I have to say. The Walt Disney Company today has announced a strategic reorganization of its businesses into 4 segments. The newly formed direct-to-consumer and international, the combined parks, experiences, and consumer products, media networks, and studio entertainment. The reorganization is effective immediately. We are strategically positioning our businesses for the future, creating a more effective global framework to serve consumers worldwide, increase growth, and maximize shareholder value, said Robert A. Iger, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer, the Walt Disney Company. With our unparalleled studio and media network serving as content engines for the company, we are combining the management of our direct-to-consumer distribution platforms, technology, and international operations to deliver the entertainment and sports content consumers around the world want most, with more choice, personalization, and convenience than ever before. Which, that more choice thing is actually interesting because one of the problems with the whole streaming thing, this whole we're cutting the cord and we're going to get Netflix and Hulu and you might watch stuff on YouTube, thanks by the way, is that everyone wants in on that. So, Disney would, okay, we have a subscription for ESPN, then we have a Star Wars, then we have a Marvel, then we have the Disney classics, then we have maybe the live action. I think consumers would preferably want that all in one package. And so Disney has kind of gone back and forth on how their streaming is going to work out. Is it going to be all in one? Is it going to be separated? There's some advantages having it separated, but then you're having people pick and choose, which do you really want them to do that? So I don't know. I think in some cases people want more choices in content, but they don't want more choices in services. And I wonder if Disney realizes that. So let's see here. Kevin Mayer, who has served as Disney's chief strategy officer since 2015, has been named chairman of the new direct-to-consumer and international business segment. Kevin is a proven leader who has played a critical role in bringing together the collection of creative and technological assets that will allow Disney to offer unparalleled entertainment experiences in a direct-to-consumer future, Mr. Iger said. Mr. Mayer will continue to report directly to Mr. Iger. Now, that direct-to-consumer thing, that's streaming. That is clearly streaming, because it kind of amazes me that Disney still doesn't have any viable streaming options. They still have the Disney Movie Club, which is where you get like 5 DVDs for like $1, and then you have to buy like 4 at retail price. So it really evens out to about the same, and nobody does that. Nobody does that. I mean, I like DVDs and Blu-rays, and I'm not going to do that. So, in addition, we're merging our consumer products and park operations under one segment, combining strategy and resources to produce even more compelling products and experiences that bring our stories and characters to life for our consumers, which, makes sense. I mean, the merchandise is tied to the movies and the rides. If you can combine the rides with the toys, maybe you can create toys and products that closely mimic the ride experiences. So maybe that's not a bad thing. Bob Chapek, chairman, Walt Disney Parks and Resorts, will assume additional responsibility for all of Disney's consumer product operations globally, including licensing and Disney stores, as chairman of the new Parks, Experience and Consumer Products business segment. Quote, Bob comes to his new role with an impressive record of success at both parks and resorts and consumer products, and he is the perfect leader to run these combined terms, Mr. Iger said. Mr. Chapek will continue to report directly to Mr. Iger. Well, who doesn't report to Mr. Iger? That's more of a formality, I know, but... So, yeah, that makes sense, especially since the Disney store is kind of just a Disney gift shop, like a Disneyland gift shop that's in the mall. That's all it really is. So it makes sense that they would want the, departments combined so that when people go to a Disney store, they get a magical experience at the store in the mall, just like they would at Disneyland or Disney World. Direct-to-consumer and international. The newly created direct-to-consumer and international segment will serve as a global multi-platform media, technology, and distribution organization for world-class content created by Disney Studio Entertainment and Media Networks groups. The new segment will be comprised of Disney's international media businesses and the company's direct-to-consumer business globally, including the upcoming Disney-branded direct-to-consumer streaming service, the company's ownership stake in Hulu, which, by the way, could still not happen. There are people in Congress who are fighting that, and I hope that they block that, personally. And soon to be launched ESPN Plus streaming service programmed in partnership with ESPN, even though Disney owns ESPN, so there's not much of a partnership with anything. The Disney branded direct-to-consumer streaming service, which will launch in late 2019 and is yet to be named, maybe Walt Disney? Will be the exclusive home for subscription video on-demand viewing of the newest live-action animated movies in the pay TV window from Disney, Pixar, Marvel, and Lucasfilm. It will also feature an impressive array of original exclusive series and movie programming, along with thousands of titles from the Disney film and television libraries. Senior Vice President Agnes Chu will move to the direct-to-consumer and international segment and will continue to oversee programming for the Disney-branded streaming services. And despite my, criticism of Disney and their streaming, I think they just have too much at this point. I'm looking forward to seeing what the streaming service has to offer. I don't want them to have Hulu's control of Hulu as well, but we'll see what happens with there. BAMTech, which is headed by Michael Paul, 2L, wow, and sorry folks, I need to get a haircut, is developing both the Disney branded and ESPN Plus streaming platforms and will now house all consumer-facing digital technology and products across the company as part of the direct-to-consumer and international segment. The Center of Excellence for Technology and Data Platforms within the direct consumer and international segment will provide the company not only with increased quality and efficiencies, but also greater consumer insights that will allow for more personalization and substantially improved user experience, aka what Facebook and MoviePass does. Management of global advertising sales for Disney's media properties, include ESPN, ABC, Freeform, and the Disney channels, will move from Media Networks to the new direct-to-consumer and international segment, giving advertisers a one-stop shop for reaching audiences across all of Disney media properties, including its online and direct consumer platforms. That makes a lot of sense. In addition to more closely align with the company's direct consumer initiatives, the company's program sales operations headed by Janice Marinelli, including global distribution of film and television content to the Disney-branded direct-to-consumer streaming service Hulu and other third-party platforms and channels, as well as Movies Anywhere, will be integrated in the direct-to-consumer and international business segment. Mrs. Marinelli will report directly to Mr. Mayer, and that is interesting because Movies Anywhere is essentially supposed to be the Ultraviolet replacer. Ultraviolet never really caught on with people. It probably doesn't help that when you search Ultraviolet in Google, you get that really horrible movie from 2003 that, But what's interesting about that is Disney's Movie Anywhere is a Disney thing, and I've redeemed a couple movies through Movies Anywhere. I redeemed Justice League and The Shape of Water through Movies Anywhere. But with this restructuring, will Movies Anywhere be limited now where you can only do Disney movies? I think that's worth asking. The company's international channels include the international Disney channels will also be consolidated into the new business segment. Disney's international channels are renowned for providing incomparable branded entertainment programming that is both universally appealing and locally relevant, and the production of localized content will continue to grow under the new structure. Yeah, I mean, I would just like to point out to Disney, you also have lots of classic content that I would love to see on these services. Please don't ignore that, because if there is an advantage to streaming, it's that you can put anything on there and you're not limited by a 24-hour time block. So please put some of those old Disneyland specials on. Please. Let's see here. I think that's pretty much all that I want to talk about here. Parks, experience, and consumer products. Well, let's look at this real quick. The new Parks, experience, and consumer products segment will become the hub where Disney stories, characters, and franchises come to life. So basically what they're saying in this is that, yeah, the Disney store will have the same sort of magic and appeal that the Disney parks do. That's pretty much what that says. And I don't think we need to read all that to figure that out. Media networks. No, these are... So, okay, here's the forward-looking statements. Certain statements in this press release may constitute as forward-looking statements within the meaning of the oh yeah, so basically this may or may not come to pass. Well, all right. So anyway, I think that this was long overdue. I think it was long overdue. Disney has been way behind in the streaming services, and had they gotten there sooner, this massive restructuring would not be required. They would have just simply been adapting to the times and slowly, moving forward with things. They'd have their own service. But the fact that they're playing catch up now and they have to restructure the company to do things that companies like Netflix and GameFly and Microsoft have figured out years ago shows how really unprepared they were. It also showed that their products are very, very loved, that they could survive and even thrive under systems that are considered archaic by some means. Like, movie theater revenue is still a major source of Disney's money that they make. And box office was the lowest it's been in years last year. So that's just how much people love Disney products. But now that they are into the streaming game, that will hopefully, give them a little bit of a boost for whatever they need. Hopefully it doesn't mean the ticket prices for Disneyland go up again, but you never know. And yeah, I am interested in the streaming service. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know how much it's going to cost. I hope it doesn't cost too much money, but I guess we'll see. But anyway, what do you folks think about this restructuring, if in fact you have an opinion at all? I would love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy the videos I make, consider becoming a Patreon member for a little $1 a month. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.